Introducing PalmSHIELD Artemis, the revolutionary dumpster enclosure design from the industry's top screening manufacturer. PalmSHIELD Artemis was created in response to feedback from our customers and installers, who requested easier, more flexible installation. Answering their call, we set about designing a cost-effective system that is a game changer in aesthetics, strength, and installation efficiency. In this video, we'll demonstrate how to install PalmSHIELD Artemis. This system is available in a variety of factory and custom colors, and has been engineered to withstand winds up to 150 miles an hour. Please follow your installation instructions closely, so that the system meets engineering requirements for the prescribed strength. Estimated install time is 2 hours. After repeated installs, you should be able to complete in under an hour. You can assemble your gate doors at any point during installation. For demonstration purposes, we are working indoors on a set of sawhorses, but you can easily assemble the gates in the field. Gate assembly requires the following equipment: drill, standard socket set, wrench, mallet, clamps. We'll build the gate one door at a time. Set 2 pieces of gate frame side by side. Lay out the frame so the gate interior faces upward and the holes in the center line up. Attach clamps at each end to hold the pieces together. These are the bolts, washers, and nuts that came with your order. Keep the bolts loose as you install them. You'll tighten everything later. We recommend starting at the center and working your way outward to one end and then to the other. Now move a clamp to the center. Use a mallet to gently tap the frames into a level formation, and then tighten all the bolts. Once again, we suggest starting at the center and working your way out. Flip the frame so the flat side faces upward. Lay the infill across the frame and align the ends with the ends of the gate frame. When adding the second piece of infill, overlap the edges as shown on screen. Now attach the top and the bottom trims. The trim is designed to have the lip slide beneath your infill. The trim should align with the exposed part of the gate frame as shown on screen. These are the self-tapping screws. For demonstration purposes, we are using galvanized screws, but the screws that came with your order are custom colored to match your infill. Use a drill to install a screw at each of the 4 corners. Drill through the infill and into the frame so that the infill, the trims, and the frame fasten together. Once the corner screws are installed, install a screw at the center of each channel along the top and bottom edges of your gate. The last step is to install the center row of screws. These screws must be drilled in a perfectly straight line, so we recommend using a string line or some similar object. When ready, pre-drill the holes along the line, and then install the screws. Repeat the process until both your gate doors are complete. To install your drop rod, place the latch on the exposed lower corner of your gate frame. Slide screws through the top holes, attaching washers and nuts along the threads. Use a socket and a wrench to tighten all the bolts. You can now attach the rod. Your order also includes gate latches and handles that have been pre-welded for your convenience. With your gates assembled, it is time to install your Artemis screening system. You'll need anchor bolts to secure your post to the ground. Please note that anchor bolts are not specified or provided by PalmSHIELD. Installing PalmSHIELD Artemis requires a minimum of 2 installers, using proper protective gear and the following equipment: tape measure, can of compressed air, hammer drill, standard socket set, string line, level, mallet, marker. PalmSHIELD also sells shims, which are used to help level posts. Before you begin, look over the custom fabrication drawings that shipped with your order. Begin by placing one of your corner posts at the point of installation, and use a tape measure to determine the placement of the remaining posts along one side of your system. Use a string line to line up the posts, and correct as needed. Use a marker to mark the holes where the 4 anchors will be installed. When done, lift the post to get it out of the way. You will use these 4 markings when drilling the holes for your anchor bolts. The reason we use a marker is you never want to drill through the post holes. Doing so can chip your powder-coated finish and damage your product. With your markings in place, prepare the hammer drill and drill the 4 holes. Use compressed air to clear out the debris. Return the post to the installation site and match up the post to the holes in the pavement. These are the anchor bolts. Once again, PalmSHIELD does not specify or include anchor bolts in our orders. Move the nut of each bolt to the top as shown on screen. Use a mallet to install the anchors. Do not tighten the bolts just yet, as you must first check the level of the posts. If the post is not completely level, you can adjust them using PalmSHIELD's custom-made shims. Simply slide the shims under the edge of your post until the post is level. You can now tighten all 4 anchor bolts. Repeat the process until all your posts are installed and level. It is now time to assemble the rails. The rails of PalmSHIELD Artemis can be installed in one of 2 ways. Method 1. Consult your drawings to figure out the height of your bottom rail. Measure and mark said height on all the posts. Both installers will line up the rail's top edge with the marks. Use a drill and the self-tapping screws to attach. Overlap with a second rail, as shown on screen. Once again, verify the placement and drill into place. At this point, use a clamp to pack the rails together, and drill in screws on the top and the bottom. Method 2. You can also pre-assemble the rails. To do this, overlap the rails in advance, and use a tape measure to get the joined rails to the correct length. Then drill the pieces together and attach them to your system. Repeat either process to install the middle and the top rails. Please note that the rails on all 3 sides of your system will be installed at different heights. Always consult your project specifications before installing. To install the infill, calculate the proper height and adjust. Drill the infill into all 3 rails on both sides. Lay a second panel so the edges overlap approximately 2 inches, and repeat the process. You may end up with a small gap at the end of each side. Take a piece of infill and measure the length of the gap, plus 2 inches for overlap. Use those measurements to cut the trim. And when ready, finish the installation. There are 3 trims for this system: top trim, bottom trim, and corner trim. To install the top trim, line them up with the corner of your infill and overlap as shown on screen. For the bottom trim, slide the lip upward and behind the infill and drill into the corners. You can now install the corner trims. These are your custom gate hinges, which must be attached to your gate posts. Once again, measure and mark the posts. Now attach the hinges using the top U-bolt. Attach the washers and bolts, and tighten to hold the hinge in place. Verify your height, and install the second U-bolt. You can now tighten all the bolts. Do the same for the top hinge, and repeat the process for the second post. Lastly, install the gates. Lift the gate and slide the second female hinge barrels onto the male counterparts. Close the gate to the appropriate location. Lower the drop rod and mark the socket location in the ground. And finally, drill a hole so your rod can slide into the ground and hold its place. You have now installed your PalmSHIELD Artemis system. Snap some pictures and send them to PalmSHIELD to enact your warranty.